Hot temperatures and severe weather expected for millions across areas of the United States. My name is Michael, here to give you an update on the latest on what's going on out there in the weather community. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As you can see here from the GFS model, we have some hot temperatures to start off not start off August. Well, maybe for August, we're probably going to starting off with some temperatures, but we have some hot temperatures to wrap up July here. Make sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So as you can see from multiple areas across the United States, what we have here is a risk that's going on out there. We have a marginal risk in effect for many areas along the I-95 corridor, but as well as another marginal risk with that slight risk, and we even have I think that's an enhanced. I'm not sure if that's an enhanced. This is an orange risk. They'll be able to have that level 3 out of 5 risk. That's going to be east of Minneapolis. So our tornado risk today, mainly going to be around Chicagoland. That's going to be a tornado threat with a 5%. So we want to watch out for tornadoes there. Wind threat, as we get into areas, wind threat is going to be very life-threatening here, actually, as we get into areas of the Midwest. Dash lines in effect there. So you have wind in effect. So you have the tornado, the wind, and the hail threat is no better. You have the red risk there with the dash lines for some of those areas east of Minneapolis as well. So if you're east of Minneapolis, you really need to be watching on what is potential for what's going on in this general area. So as we get into tomorrow, we're going to have the same setup, less severe. It could be upgraded tomorrow. We don't know. Slight risk in effect for areas of Chicago as we get into areas like that. There's something we got to watch out for. Tornado risk going to be around Chicago. Wind threat going to be in the reds once again. We don't have any dash lines for that, but for our hail threat, we're good as well. No dash lines for that as well. As we get into day 3 outlook, areas of the Carolinas, we talked about the potential of severe weather that would pop up in this area, and it is going to be very well possible. Majority of North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, areas of Virginia, eastern West Virginia, into the Delmarva, into areas of New England. We do have that slight risk in effect. This could get upgraded over time, and a lot is possible. Low potential into day 4 and today. So we get into those areas, we're going to have to look out for things like that, of that severe weather and whatnot. So we have a lot going on out there. We have hot temperatures to worry about. We have some ongoing flooding that's going on around areas of the eastern United States. As you can see here, this is today. Slight risk going to be still in effect for areas of the low country, the outer banks of Georgia. Marginal risk in effect all the way from Atlanta up into areas east of Minneapolis. Marginal risk for that flooding. Well, not marginal. This is going to be, marginal risk in effect for areas of Denver. Day 2 is going to be on the marginal side. Going to be areas of the Midwest, portions of New England, the Mid-Atlantic, and as you get into areas of the 4-state area. So Denver area, Four Corners area, we're going to continue to have this flooding that's happening. Areas as we get into day 3, which is going to be our Tuesday, July 28th. We're getting very close to August here, folks. New York going to be having a slight risk. July 29th, we have some potential flooding around areas of New York. I mean, there's just a lot going on here. There's a lot to unpack, a lot to unfold here. Tropical weather outlook. Everything is quiet but the tropics, in the Atlantic at least. If we look over to our areas along the Pacific, we do have this storm. The storm was like it was targeting. This is like it's going to target the northwestern Hawaii Island. So as you can see, that cone of uncertainty, it is a hurricane, but it'll weaken eventually, expected to a tropical. So multiple areas across the United States will be dealing with all of this extreme stuff that'll be happening, as you can tell here. And specifically as we get into Chicago, that's something we got to look out for. Now, if we look at our model runs here, we're going to look at the HRRR, see what's going on here. I'll get to those temperatures in just a second, but we're going to look at this severe weather right quick. HRRR. Let's get down here to our precipitation. And we're going to put this generally around the Chicago area. So let's do that. And let me just move out your way there. And here's a look at what's going on across areas of the Midwest. As you can see, into Sunday, we do have areas of showers and thunderstorms that are going to be popping up. And those, I guess, will be fueled to potentially, we have the ingredients here for the potential of some spin-up tornadoes that are going to be happening. In the south, we just have a lot of rain showers. Some could be severe, but as you can tell, that's what's going to cause our flooding. Recreating that flooding around the low country as always. So the low country having those showers and thunderstorms that are possible. Now, this is a model run that I'm going to pull up here. That's the RRFS run. And we're going to see, and it's going to show how we're looking here. We're going to look at areas of the Midwest right now, and then I'm going to go back down to the Carolinas. But as you can see here, shower and thunderstorm activity, and look what the HRRR model tries to do here for Tuesday. A lot of shower and thunderstorm activity, and then as we get down here towards the south, just a lot of rain showers going on, shower and thunderstorm activity per usual. And then you can definitely see that severe weather threat right into that Tuesday tries to appear there for areas of the Carolinas. So we have a lot to watch out for. A lot is going on. A lot of severe weather is underway, and I'm going to keep informing you on the information on the latest on what's happening out there in the weather community. So as we look here at the HRRR model, we have some hot temperatures that are underway. These temperatures will be back into the hundreds for many right now here. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. So right now you're going to be hot in middle parts of the country, and everybody in the West is hotter in the middle parts of the country, but this is probably going to throw people off guard that are in the east coast of the United States here. So as you can look, we're going to pick a location right here at Atlanta. And as you can see, Atlanta, it starts getting hot as you get into Tuesday. And this is our HRRR. Well, let's look at the GFS actually, because the GFS is going to give us a longer range of what's happening. But look what the GFS does on Tuesday. It gives us 100. Then we're 100 down here in Macon. So just look at those. Macon will be a good example. So if we look down here into Macon, look on Monday, we get 100 degrees there. On Tuesday, what do we get? 103 degrees. On Wednesday, we're getting 103 degrees again. Thursday, nearly 199 degrees, and then Friday we start to calm things down a little bit. So making back-to-back 100s could very well be possible for these areas, and Macon is just one of the few locations on the east coast of the United States. So you can tell that we have some hot temperatures currently right now in the middle parts of the country. That'll go towards the southeastern part of the United States. So if you live in anywhere in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and the Carolinas, specifically South Carolina and northern Florida as well, you're going to have a sort of a weather shift here. Now, down here in Texas, you're probably used to these hot temperatures. I mean, these are very hot temperatures, but this is a pattern we've been seeing for the middle part of the country. The South, we've kind of taken a break for areas in the Southeast, so we've kind of taken a break on that, but we're going to start getting back into the flow of these 100s, and we'll probably see what the pattern sets up there. Actually, let's look at the Climate Prediction Center, see what the Climate Prediction Center has. It's going to tell us what's going to happen in the upcoming days, just an idea of what's going on. Above average in the lower 48. Look at these above average temperatures expected in areas of the western United States. As we get into August, a lot of above average temperatures are in effect, and specifically you can tell that pattern shift showing up for August, mainly above average temperatures in the southeast as we start cooling down a little bit in areas of the western and middle part of the country. Precipitation outlook for our July 31st through August 4th. We're going to have precipitation mainly towards the south, going to be dry in areas of the northwest. As we get into August, shower and thunderstorm activity, precipitation probably likely with those summer times, August 2nd through the 8th. And then as we get into August, we're actually expecting drier conditions as we get into areas of the southeast like Georgia, the Carolinas, into areas of the Midwest and New England. Precipitation likely as we get into areas of the western United States. So overall, we're looking at hot temperatures, and it's going to be dry for August, and not that much precipitation right now for our outlook. So that's what we're looking at right now. National Weather Service outlooks here. Extreme heat warnings are in effect for areas of the panhandle of Florida. Heat advisories scattered across middle parts of the country. Heat advisories are in effect. I expect these heat advisories to upgrade into areas of Georgia, the Carolinas. Into that area right there, I expect these to upgrade, so something to look out there for. Flood watches in effect for areas of the low country, extreme heat warnings in effect for middle parts of the country, as well as red flag warnings and air quality alerts in the north, some severe thunderstorm warnings up there. My name is Michael, here to give you an update on the latest on what's going on. Stay safe, stay hydrated out there. Have way to go those weather alerts. We have a severe weather threat going on in the southeast, as well as the hot temperatures, so you want to stay informed, be alert. My name is Michael, here to give you an update. I'll see you out there in the weather community. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a safe day.